Hello.
And wiping off the dust.
Uh-huh. How are you guys doing?
What do you have a hammer? Oh,
We don't have can openers in this.
and this is what I have. Water.
That's vodka. She's lying.
Oh no, I would never.
You're absolutely lying right now.
That's disgusting. Not vodka, but I have to pick.
So, we have quite the topic for you guys today. And what that topic is toddlers are easier than newborns. So we are quite interested to see how you guys feel about this, because a lot of the time, most people tell us that, oh, wait till she's older, wait till she's a toddler.
Wait till she's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we personally agree that, and we've heard this a million times, like when we say like, we'll take her being a toddler over like a newborn, they're like, wait till she's a little older, you'll see the toddler stage. And I'm like, we're in it right now, because Alaska be doing the most.
Lamas.
She hits, she throws, she acts like she's already 2. She acts like she's 3 actually, I think, besides the talking. And that's why I think a toddler is easier than a newborn, because for me, I don't mind the meltdowns. You could throw yourself on the floor, you can cry, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not gonna give in. What I will say is triggering is the hitting. That's the one thing that I'm like, if I could trade anything, it'd be the hitting. The hitting is very, very triggering.
But you know what's worse though? I think the worst thing is not even that. Yo, this girl, I don't know if other people's kids have done this, but she'll look at you, so you could be holding her, right? Because you're like, oh, it's okay. Like, whatever, you're trying to like help, right? And she'll be like, whap. And then she'll look at you and she'll be like, whap.
Yes.
And you're like, yo,
like
dude.
like a big,
I'm
like,
like, bro, oh my God.
we were at the doctor's the other day. Girl knocked both of us out.
Shouts out to Dr. Jitendra. Ta-da, my boy.
But
oh, we about to tell him everywhere we at. They about to get our blood work.
oh no, he was a good doctor, and he was patient,
Our 10
considering
subscribers.
Alaska, who was fucking wouldn't sit still. And so she was trying to touch the biohazard, the red trash can that you're not supposed to touch. She was trying to touch that shit, so I kept trying to keep her away from it. So I got knocked out twice, and eventually she starts getting fussy, and James is like trying to whisper to me like to take her out of the room, but he does it in like this tone that I'm like,
Yeah,
first her, not you next.
Cause I was like, yo, we just get her out of here. Because
which I was about to, and I'm like, if the man would let me get out, like,
she's losing it.
She was losing it, absolutely. And then she hit
was so
him.
losing it. She hit me too.
Later
man.
on in the doctor's office. So I feel like if anybody said wait till the hitting starts, that's the one thing that I'd be like, oh, you got it. Like, this is the one thing that I would be like, Jesus, take the wheel. But everything else, she could throw herself on the floor. She could ask for something a million times. You're not getting it. If I've already made my mind up, you're not getting it. It doesn't matter how hard, how much you beg, it's not happening. Her as a newborn?
Nah, hers a newborn. Yo, I got videos. I got videos.
Which I can't wait to show her when she gets.
Oh, when she's older, I'm gonna be like, hey, Alaska, you wanna see yourself as a baby? I'm gonna be like,
She
here,
was,
look.
girl didn't want to sleep.
That girl would be like,
She wanted to cry. She was born to cry.
nah, seriously, I mean, personally, I feel like a lot of it stemmed from we should have a whole video about the,
that would probably be a good,
you know exactly what I'm talking about the pregnancy day.
Story,
yeah, but like, I think a lot of it did stem from that, because I think she just went through mad trauma that day.
Yeah.
Because where we went and all this shit, that was like a...
Yeah, and she came out crying. And so she had meconium, we could talk about, but she had meconium. So when she came out, it was like a whole thing. Like, they had to check her to make sure it didn't get into her lungs. So when she came out, girl was crying, and they were like, she has no issues, clearly, because she was just crying. And it's like any new voice she heard, she would just cry. And like any doctor,
except for the guy who told us about the bill. The guy who told us about like our deductible and shit like that. That was the only person that she stopped crying with.
Wait, I don't know why, because
everybody knew who came in that hospital, and she was like, yeah.
And they would all say like, wow, she's a crier. Like she really has a lot to say. Girl was on that day. And
them eyes, bro, she would just be like,
as a newborn, girl didn't want to close them.
Like, girl looking for anything. Like, if she heard something, she looked, right? Everybody super just observant everywhere. She is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. As a newborn, she would fight her sleep. The nighttime, she wasn't that bad. We had to sleep train her, but she wasn't bad at night. But during the day, it was like...
People about to get mad upset about sleep training.
I don't care. It works for us, so...
Yo, that girl was sleeping 7 hours by like...
3 months.
Yeah. 7-8 hours by 3 months.
In her crib. Yeah.
And mind you, that every waking moment...
But
remember,
that's,
it was
that's
just
why
like
she
it was
slept
like
good,
yo, it was
because
like yo, what can we do to make sure? And I remember yo, some days it would be
the
like
walks. Remember the walks?
yeah. Oh my god. I don't even want to talk about that, man. That's fucking.
That was traumatic.
Hell yeah, dude. But yo, like any waking moment, remember like how many times we'd be like, maybe she got this, maybe she got that, maybe she like not saying she has like a mental problem, but like saying like
colic,
maybe she's colicky, or maybe she's hungry, maybe her back hurts, maybe she fucking who knows what. Or, like we just try to come. Everyone's like, oh, move their legs, play with their legs, and we do that shit. Nothing.
Yeah, girl was
she
just
would
out
be like,
there. And we try to bathe her. We try to put. Remember the one time with the spa music? That was the one time that we were like. That's when she was close to 3 months. So at that point, she was finally.
We put her in the. Remember because we used to bathe her in the kitchen sinks. We would clean it down, and then we'll put like a mat out, like a silicone mat for her to like lay on, and we just put spa music. And it was the first time, bro. She was just like zen, because every time you put water by this girl, bro, she would fucking.
Anytime you put anything by this girl,
anytime you did anything.
She hated her car seat. She hated blankets. She didn't like the sun. She didn't like the wind. Remember, it was always girl was out here to challenge. Like I would take her on daily walks.
You'll be like this. You'll be like you like oh hi, and I'll be like you know, like here's the thing, as a baby, like she knows like I kiss this girl everywhere appropriately. Like I kiss her everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Do although when you like play with her hand, touch her, she's like.
She hated her hand. Now she likes
and like lose it, right? Now you could like to a degree. So sometimes I go to like dance with her.
Rough. You probably like, and she doesn't like.
I'm not like that, bro. Maybe a little bit.
But she was. I remember the first time. That I was like, maybe I'll take her on a walk. I think that might help for her to nap peacefully. I go, girl is crying. Mind you, at this point, I'm probably like a month postpartum, so my brain is still like, she's crying, I'm bleeding. And I remember I was bleeding raw. So I was scared to even go out and like, you know, for it to be a lot. But
yeah, I remember that. They were like, oh, you lost a lot of blood too.
Yeah, so
we definitely have to talk about that.
Yeah, we can.
That
She was crying a lot, and I called James and I was like, I don't know if I should go home. Remember, because I was so stressed out. And then this guy walked by me. I'll never forget that day. And he looked at me like I had committed a crime because she was crying. And I'm like, I have a fucking stroller, and she like, what do you want me to do? Carry her and move the stroller? And I'm like, little did you know, I just gave birth. I can't carry all that shit. But to me, it was just like
further. She's been crying the last 5 hours. You fucking
and the last 4 weeks
yeah.
of her life. So it was just constant crying, and it was just like, what the fuck do we do?
Okay, sorry.
No, I remember, and I feel like that's why it took a while to feel like connected to her, because nothing worked. Like it didn't matter.
It does kind of push you away. Like it's kind of hard to like. But then you know what's funny though? I always think about it because I'm like, it's kind of funny because I told Jen about this too, and I'm like, you know, sometimes. How do I say this? Like maybe if you've had an acquaintance or a friend or something like that, and everything is like super good, and then maybe once you have a semi problem, it's way bigger than the problem actually is. But because everything has been so good, so I think to a degree that her being as
prepared us.
as for real, but no, not prepared us, but well, yeah, that too. But like you get through it, and it makes you like love her more, I guess, because you went through all the hard stuff. You dealt with all the bullshit. And because in all seriousness, I would say what would you say, a third of the day or a quarter of the day you would actually be like, oh, this is fun, wow, she's so cute. And then like the rest of it, you're just like, fuck.
I feel like at nighttime she was honestly the calmest. When we would pick her up before she like slept through,
I would say at like 3 a.m. when you're fucking.
That's what I mean. And literally at the crack of like, in the day she was a storm. I think
probably just because she was like tired.
And she was always overtired because girl would not go to sleep. I would try holding her. We put her in the swing. That's why we moved her to her crib early on.
We moved her to a crib. We moved her to her crib. Or the baby go quiet. Go to your crib.
Walk her in the crib.
But nah, for real though, because we got to the point because we were waking her up. We were doing the 3-hour shit. We were like, we waking her up. Fuck this. Let her sleep.
Yeah.
If she wants milk, she cries enough. She'll let us know. You know what I'm saying?
I never remember.
She could communicate.
And then we had to sleep train her during her naps in the daytime too. Remember, because then she would just cry sometimes. Like she wanted us to like get her out of the room because she didn't want to sleep. She'd be overtired, but didn't want to sleep. And they got to the point where we would have to let her cry a little bit just so she could start to get sleepy. And we would check in. After a while, she didn't stop. But that was a whole other thing. But going back to the first point,
we never let her cry it out. We never did that.
No, I would say cry it out max maybe 10 minutes
at most.
Even now, if she wakes up crying and I feel like she hasn't slept enough, The max I probably give her is 5.
And she'll sleep just
because
fine
she'll
though.
cry really
Once she falls
like,
back asleep.
Yeah, in the
She be
nighttime
trying to
she's
like,
fine.
yo, she'll cry like and just like make herself throw up.
Yeah, she cries pretty
You're
hard
like,
when
dude,
she
calm
gets to
down.
that point. But yeah, she definitely has a temper on her. But I always tell James, like, even though lately, like this past week, she has been putting me through the ringer, and it's not even the meltdowns itself; it's the hitting that just like does something.
Yo,
to
you
me.
gotta see. I wish you know what's funny. You can't see your face, cause Jen will. So Jen has a. I'm here, and I'm like, oh, I'm here, and the baby.
But I'm not crazy. I think my.
No, I'm not
attitude
saying you're
goes up.
crazy. Yeah, it does, but like.
But I'm not like a
No,
monster.
your face though is the
Yeah,
funny part
yeah.
because she'll be like, okay, like you can tell, like, you know,
It's
you get to the
starting
point
to-
where you're saying, okay, Alaska, let's just calm down. You're doing the most right now, and then once she hits with the whack, she's just
This is Alaska hitting me.
so Alaska, no, and you're like, dude, calm down, bro. She probably cries more because she's scared. She probably,
remember
she probably, you know-
remember today? So we had a moment. James FaceTimed me a lot during the day. So of course she had like 5 meltdowns in one FaceTime
Yeah,
call
of
today.
course.
So towards the end, damn, what was it that happened? She
I don't
hit
know.
me.
You was
She
just like,
wanted-
no,
Yeah.
we don't hit mommy.
No, because I've had
We
it.
don't hit mommy.
This was at like
So mad.
this was
yo.
at like 9:30 a.m.
So
The
I was just
girl-
like this. You know what the best part about FaceTime? It's because here's the square, and I'm just be like, like try not to laugh. Yeah, I move out the
No,
square.
because it was like 9:30 a.m. and she had woken up at 6:30 a.m. on a 1,000. I'm exhausted because girl
On
had
what
put
number?
me.
Can we tell them about that?
What number?
What number you just said? She woke up on what?
6:30 a.m.
No, on what? On what
On a
number?
1,000.
She can't say 1,000.
Oh.
She better 1,000.
Anyway, she had to melt.
She got 4 D's in it.
Oh, she didn't want to get ready.
Those are D's.
Anyways, it wasn't that she didn't want to get ready.
I don't know
She didn't
what
want
it
to.
was.
Something happened.
I
She
don't
didn't
know.
want to
She
get
just
ready.
popped over
Oh,
you
she
like
wanted
4
her shoes.
times.
She wanted her shoes, and I told her you have to wait till I put your pants on. She didn't want to wait because God forbid the girl got to wait. She's impatient as fuck, like her parents. So I grabbed her and she went whack. So I'm like, Alaska, no, don't hit mama. Whack. So at this point, I'm like, Alaska, you have to stop. And who gets hit again as I'm putting her down? Me. So at that point, I was like, Alaska, no, because I've had enough. You hit me like 3 times, and I haven't hit you. I hit you 0 times. I got all the L's. So I'm like, no, I've never touched that little girl. I just
Yeah, me either.
sometimes my attitude gets a little high. So at that point, James had heard me once I put it down because I was like, I've had enough. But I tell James, even with those meltdowns, I'm taking a toddler over a newborn because I feel like the toddler stage is hard because they're independent. They want to voice their needs, and their little meltdowns could be big. And if you're in public, you were like, "Fuck, everyone's looking at me." But now
I don't even
my-
care about that.
Yeah, I'm still like getting used to it, but I feel like I'm getting better at just like being like, "Fuck it." She's having a hard time, like we all do.
But I
Like,
think
it's
also at the
just-
end of the day, like, you know, we both know how we want to approach dealing with her having the meltdowns. So
Mm-hmm.
in public, I'm just gonna do that because what are you gonna like? First of all, everybody who sees me, you probably never gonna see me again
Mm-hmm.
up until our channel gets more subscribers, like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, I don't really care what happens in public, to be honest, because if anybody had a kid, you know what the problem is? A lot of people who have had kids, they act like they didn't have kids at
Yeah,
the
I
phase
agree.
your kid is at, right? Like, you always meet somebody who has a child older than your child who's like, oh,
Judging
that's
mad
not
hard.
good.
I will
And
say
it's
the
like, bro,
only
you
time-
forgot.
the
Y'all
only
motherfuckers
time-
forgot. And y'all act like you forgetting.
Yeah, I think that to
Fuck
me
outta
is
here.
the most.
I hate that bullshit.
Yeah,
That shit's
people
so
forgetting.
annoying. People be like, yo, their kid be like 3 months older. Like, oh, I remember when they were 19 months. I remember. They didn't act like that.
When they're 3 months old.
Yeah,
you said?
exactly. It's like, what?
You said when they're 3 months old, they act like they're 19.
3 months older.
Oh.
Like when their kid is like 3 months older, their kid is 2 and your kid's 19 months, and they want to act like it, like this
That's
fucking huge gap that they were.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't like that.
People
And
be
it's-
mad annoying,
and-
and everyone just want to act like they're fucking. And then I see their kid anyway, and I'm like, bro, I don't even want to take your advice because your kid does not act the way I want my kid to act.
That's
So
to me like I try
I'm
not
doing
to,
everything to make sure my kid act the way I want my kid.
yeah,
to act.
I try not to judge like other parents because
Nah,
like
you
James
can't
said,
judge. You can't.
you never you I don't want to ever forget how hard it was to have a kid this age as a newborn because that shit is hard. But what I will say I judge is if I see poor parenting, as in like I tell you no, you're not getting this, and then I give in, and then
you want to go to the queen.
Yeah, and then I give in, and then I wonder why you don't respect me or why you have full blown meltdowns still. You know, like with Alaska, I'm like, she could have 5 meltdowns. I don't care. If I tell her no, that meltdown is not gonna convince me different. You know, like, and honestly, I don't feel bad because in my head it's like, life is not gonna always go your way, and I want her to know that I'm okay with her feeling it through. I'll be right there. Like, I don't dismiss her. I don't dismiss her feelings. Like, I'll stay with her unless she's hitting me. Then usually I'm like, all right, Alaska, I think we need some space, and I'll move a little bit just so I don't get kicked or hit. But I'll stay in the same room. I wish. No, I don't wish. But sometimes I'm like, and I think that's why. Remember the time that I was holding her and she hit me? But she was like she had just started walking maybe, and then James was like, do you want me to take her? Alaska, go.
Oh yeah, because you look mad.
But mind you, I told him, like, I was
kitchen,
fine.
wasn't it?
No, we were outside. That she threw herself on the floor. And
on the sidewalk. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember on the corner.
That was like the beginning
by that
of
fucking weird bitch's house.
Yeah,
with the paint in that fucking this is like I don't know what she is, she's
creepy.
She's like she looks like a South American Indian person.
Yeah,
I don't know what she
is.
And
she has black hair.
But it's like crazy.
Like, yeah, like it looks like
one day. So we seen her walk out the house one day, right? And we're like, yo, this is walk past her. She looked weird as fuck. She looked mad with like a
then
blue
the next day we saw.
And then so we just like, and we kept turning back, and she's like one of those people who walks mad slow but fast at the same time. So of course she does, cause she looked mad creepy. Yo, the next day or maybe whatever it was, we're walking back and we're walking the opposite way past her house. Yo, we look in the window and the bitch is like this painting, and she's like.
No, she was.
Like we see her through the window, right? And she was just like
stuck, like frozen,
holding a paintbrush, and we're like,
it was so creepy. And then me and James, like, it was creepier because we both looked in there. Like, it was like,
like, yo, you saw that.
And as we're walking, I'm like, James, fuck. Like, did you see that? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, James. And I be having weird ass dreams. So I told James, I was like, watch me have a fucking dream about that lady. Thank God I did not, but I definitely prayed.
She coming tonight, though.
No, don't say. I'm like trying to take you to remember her name, her face.
Name. I don't remember what she looked like. She's just weird. Like, she's
weird.
Creepy,
and after that, I told James, I'm like, I kind of don't want to look in the window ever again. So every time we walk by, James looks.
I have to look. I just want to see her again.
Fuck that. I don't want to.
But you know what though? She probably just dirty.
Well, she looked a little
I feel like there's mad dirty
like,
people
remember
in this
her
neighborhood.
shoes? Well, this neighborhood's not like the best. Like, it's not bad.
We live
but
in kind of a shitty neighborhood.
Yeah, if you told me you could move somewhere,
you know what? I feel like our neighborhood is shitty, but it's like relatively safe. Like, I feel like you're not in danger. Like, you don't
it's probably like more weird stuff, like people taking your fucking packages, like that kind of stuff.
But that's not even weird. People taking your trash.
The trash can.
Or like someone left a car seat, not a baby car seat, an actual adult car seat
in front
of the house, like on the street.
Yeah, it's just like weird stuff like that. Like
that shit pissed me the fuck off.
That people just don't respect your property.
Someone stole my recycle bin. Like, what are we doing?
Mind you, not the compost. They should have stolen that one because it's a new thing. No, not compost.
What the fuck? That shit fucking months out.
Yeah, to me, a toddler, life should get easier as the kid gets older. Not easier. I know there's challenges, so don't start screaming at me. I know that because I was a teenager. I know there's challenges with a teenager and a 10-year-old. But I feel like just guiding them and them respecting you, that should get easier as they get older. Obviously, not when they're like a teenager that they're just naturally gonna want to go against the grain. But when they're like 3 or 4, they should not be running the show.
But I also believe we've seen have been, you can see like a disparity in the relationships where one party or another is crazy disrespectful to the other one in the way they treat them or speak to them and things like that. So, I mean, obviously if your kid picks up on that, they're going to say like, oh, that one gets shitted on, so I'm going to shit on that one too.
And I think...
and then the other one I'm going to try with, but that one definitely I get shit on. And then usually that one who they shit on, the person who shit on them in the first place, is like, well, you can't reprimand them. That's my job. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you see that too.
I think that, and also like if let's say like Alaska does something and I decide to discipline, we've seen in public people we know, like it's just happened where one will disagree with the other one, and I feel like that also makes toddlerhood harder because now the kid is like, oh wait, like they don't even know what side they're on.
I'm only half wrong.
Like even now, Alaska's still little, obviously, and she doesn't fully understand. But even now, we'll tell like very quick. We'll be like, she did this, I'm gonna do this, or what should I do? And it's like we'll just throw each other like very quick phrases to each other to like, what are you doing? So I could like piggyback on it, you know, like or if one of us feels like maybe don't do that yet, or you know, like we try to give each other keywords to like move together in her meltdowns or like in just disciplining her. So I feel like that's good practice for us as she gets older and is gonna understand that where we're not gonna be able to communicate, but at least now we are able to be like we look at each other and like we'll kind of give each other the cue of like, are we letting her have this? Are we not? Are we pulling back, or are we gonna go hard and like show her? And me and James, we mad prideful. Like there was times, this was before we took away the screen, like her TV, whatever, letting her watch a lot of TV. There was two little meltdowns. Not too little, they were long. They were like 30 minutes. And me and James would just whisper at each other like she was crying. Remember? Crying.
Yo, she wanted the TV so bad.
And mind you, me and James are having dinner, so we're like, yo, this is not the vibe.
Yeah, you just want to eat, you want to chill, you want to relax.
You want to talk. You couldn't even talk.
But I remember we both looked at each other. She's fucking bugging, and we just looked at each other, and we were just like, hold it out, just go strong. But it's going past.
And we stayed there with her. We didn't go nowhere.
No, we didn't ignore her, nothing like that.
We just said no TV.
We stayed, but me and her, we were just like, we made it this far.
We
can't break now. We gotta finish this out. And then you know what happened? Once she chilled out, it was like, oh, hey, baby.
Yeah, like nothing ever happened.
And everything was good, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so I feel like that's...
Because I'm not gonna hold on, because that's the thing too, 'cause sometimes I would say, the only thing I would say for you is that sometimes you hold on to things a little too long sometimes, like with her.
What you mean?
But then, like, very few times does it happen, but sometimes, like, when you get mad, you wanna... You want to be like, oh, let's go, anger. Come on, where are we going? You know what I'm saying?
Like her.
Like her too. She be fucking.
No, that's true. I agree with that.
But it's the thing is that because sometimes I'm like, I know that. Let's say she hits me, she throws something at me. I'm gonna be mad. I don't want to get fucking nothing thrown at me.
But he dismisses it.
But I'm like, she can't help it. And nothing you do as a parent, I know for a fact, is gonna help that.
No, I agree with
aside from the fact of just being like, okay, it's over, let's just address and move on.
But I think I've gotten better
if I hit you, you're like, why are you hitting me? And I'm like, I felt like it. You know what I'm saying? You could go down this whole this whole conversation of why something happened. But with a baby, they're just like, I have too many emotions and I don't know what the fuck to do, so I'm slapping you.
And they move on fast.
Super fast, and then you can't go back to it. That's why I hate too. Sometimes you do see people going on these fucking like diatribes talking to their children about shit like that, and I'm like, yo, the kid knows 47 words.
Yeah, and she gets older.
What do you expect?
Yeah, I think
they don't know anything.
Yeah, she gets older. If she wanted to have a conversation about what happened, by all means we could have that. But I'm not entertaining. And like me and James have watched like videos and stuff, and like our ultimate goal is to like discipline Alaska, but stay with her and let her know that like we're here, but it's not happening. You know, like if I said no, it's no, but I'm not gonna make you feel like a shitty child either, because you are just a child. And like James, I think
you are just a shitty child.
No, she's a good kid. Well, for the most part, but
she's amazing.
Yeah, I think James is right that I'll hold on, but I think I've gotten better at. So I think I hold on as in like I'll carry it through the day. So let's say if she started off the day with meltdowns, it's like I'm on edge the whole day because it's just been overwhelming.
Or
so my brain.
Slapped, when you get hit, you would think
who wants to get slapped?
Nobody, but you would think like
on a daily. You imagine me slapping you every day, boom, because I get mad.
All right, but you're also a functioning adult. You act like
I know.
She makes it seem like she walked onto the train or something, and somebody was like, "You're going to work," and she was like, "Yeah," and they were like. It's like,
no, it's just I've never had to deal with somebody.
And obviously you're gonna be mad all day. You're gonna go the rest of your day like, can you believe this motherfucker slapped me on the train? But it's just she's a little.
That's my weakness. That's shit. The light died. But
that shit died about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, but I think that's the only thing that I really have to work on for myself is the hitting, because the hitting just like it just. But I think it's like a physical thing too, a physical like overstimulation of just like being fucking hit and having to stay calm all day. So that's the one thing that I will say I gotta work on. But I think I've gotten better with the other stuff of her. Like when she has the meltdowns, I feel like I just come back. Like once she's good, I'm like, oh, you good? Okay, like we could go and play.
Yeah, that's all you really can do though.
Yeah, but with the hitting, it does tend to like just ruin my mood, because I think I'm like waiting for her to try to hit me again.
Yeah. So
that was funny.
There's a. She was just going off, dude. For some reason, why this little girl, bro? Before bedtime, she was like crying. She was just like from dinner. She was from dinner. This girl was just fussy, up, like all this shit. She wouldn't stop, right? So I'm trying to just get her to just like chill out. I'm like, calm down, whatever, blah blah blah. Long story short, she just kept going, and we end up just putting her in the crib because we're like, yo, listen, it's 7:30, it's nighttime. You gotta get the fuck out of here. So we put her down, right? And she kept crying. She's like, bah, 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 whatever she's doing. And Jen is just pissed off. Jen is just so pissed off at this point. She's roasted. And
I felt a whole day.
But she kept, was she calling me or no? I don't remember.
She wanted something.
She wanted something. So, that was what it was.
Clear.
So she wanted something. So we picked her out of the crib and we were like, okay, point or bring us to where you want to go. And she got a ball. We brought the ball back and then you put her back down. And then she said, bah, bah, bah. But there's like 39 words she has that start with ba. So it's very hard to know what ba she's talking about. Long story short, I was just leaving. Jen is done. Jen's just like, I'm done. Good night. I'm out of here. I don't even remember. But I'm leaving and I'm just like, Alaska, I love you and I'm sorry you like this.
I was like,
because I kind of felt bad because she wanted something else and I feel like I can't. All right, there's something. I have such a soft spot in my heart for that little girl that when I go to shut the door and she's still crying, it breaks my heart. I do not want to close the door and her crying. Because I love you and I want you to be like, that's dad and dad that will always be there and always protect me. And that's all I think about in my head. So I'm just shutting the door. I'm, and I'm like, how can I do this? But I was like, yo, I'm sorry you're like this.
Yeah, and then when I was like, because I heard I'm sorry, I'm like, what does he apologize? And then he goes, that you're like this, like he froze, and then that you're like, and I'm like, because I
just because I was like, I have to leave right now because I know this is never gonna end. This was never gonna end, but I still had to apologize for leaving, but it was your fault.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, why is he saying sorry to her? Because it's technically her fault, but yeah, because sometimes when she's crying, I just be like, girl.
Yeah, you be a little cold, but I think because you deal with her all day, like, and also my time with her is so limited compared to yours. And so I think the time I do have, I don't want it to be me shutting the door in your face. That's the thing too. A lot of time, how many times she be like that, and I feel like I end up being the bad guy.
Not really, I don't think so. Because I feel like at that point, it's like she asks for a ball, you give her the ball. She asks for the book, you give her the book. She wants her water, you give her the water. And then she's still like, meh. So at that point, I'm like, girl, I've been giving you everything you asked for. I can only give you so much. When James is like, he'll just stand there like, what else you want? God, like, I've been here all night.
I feel bad when I just want her to be in the bed and be like, and that's it, you're good.
I know, it's really cute, you know? I think for me, it's just like, I give you all of me during the day. That at nighttime, when that clock hits 7:30 p.m., Jen needs to be in her bed editing. Because that is what I do now.
Yeah, I won't be editing till fucking 7:30.
But we love her. She's the cutest thing. Oh, that's what I wanted to end it with that. I feel like her being a toddler versus her being a newborn, specifically.
I like this stage more. Way more.
So beautiful because like she's so independent. She's mad funny. She be having me and James.
She is funny as shit. Yo, the other day she was in the shower and she just started being like, he's like, yo,
she's like fighting her hips. So she was like. And like she looks like
does
the
have
GTA.
wide hips though. She has like cute little hips.
I love her little body. She's so cute and petite. But yeah, I just think
but
like
she's
her.
Just like,
and then like
hey,
we were hyping her up.
And she'll just keep going.
And then the butterfly.
Oh, she's doing the thing with her legs and you go like this.
Yeah, it was so cute. And like I feel like that to me is like I don't know. When I think of her as a newborn and now like she has so much personality and like she's like my little like companion at home. You know, like where in the newborn stage like. It was different. It was like I was taking care of her, but like the connection just took like it took time. Kind of
just like keeping her alive.
Yeah, and then like you know she's looking at you, but it's a little empty until I feel like she was like a certain whatever, maybe 6 months. I feel like it was when she really seemed more like connected to us, and then when she hit that year is where it got even better. And now like I just think she's just like sweet. She's funny. Just the meltdowns and the hitting and gotta go. But besides that, I'm like, it's cute to see her personality shine. And she's very vocal. When she don't like something, she lets you know. And I always tell James, I'm like, even though it's tough as shit to discipline her because of how she is, like she's stubborn, she's headstrong. But I'm like, I like that trait in her. Like when she gets older, to me, that is a strength in who she is. Right now it's hard because we're trying to guide and mold her, you know, for the right, to use it when it's needed. But not for everything. But yeah, I think it's just a cute phase. And I would pick that over her at 4 weeks old.
I'd take this anything. Hell yeah. I guess also in throwing out this opinion, we're biased as fuck.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like that's what it comes down to.
But then again, because then you know what? Because then people didn't have bad newborns.
Exactly. If you have a good newborn, of course you're gonna be like,
That shit
oh, I'll
fucks you
take
up.
that shit over the toddler, because the newborn is a fucking rock. They don't do anything, and if they're calm as shit, it's a dream, you know. But I think when you have a tough newborn, toddler stage does get easier because more things are in your
This is way
control
easier.
than the newborn.
Because then even if she does hit you or she does like have a meltdown, you know why.
And that is in your control in like how you react to her to show her that that's
100%.
not right. When
Yeah.
she's a newborn, she's just crying and you're just like, what the fuck? There's no fixing it because you know what the hell she needs. At least she could tell me what she needs. And if I can't give it to her, I could tell her, and she learns to understand what no is. What the hell is a newborn gonna? They don't get that.
But a lot of her newborn crying makes sense now, judging off who she is as a person.
Yes.
I feel like now
Yes.
a lot of it makes sense. You're just like, oh, I get why you cried so much.
Yeah, she's just very vocal
because you're
about her
very
dislikes.
specific.
Yeah,
she's
she
super
is.
specific about shit.
Mm-hmm. And when she doesn't
Not
want
like an
something,
OCD way, but just like
no, it's just like she wants to do stuff her way,
yeah.
which is
and
like
if you
her
don't
dad.
give her that way, so what? You want to do stuff your way too? What are you talking about?
No, that's true. I feel like that's what
Fucking
our families always. Oh, that's the guy from NSYNC, but
Who?
the guy from NSYNC, plátano head, the with the long head. Oh, I do have a long head, but what was I gonna say? Oh, that's what our family says, that we have bad tempers. So they're like, "Are you guys?"
I don't
really?
think I have a bad temper.
You do, but you don't get like as explosive. Like your attitude is not as bad as mine, but I do feel like you have a temper and you are headstrong. Like when you've decided something, you want it that way, and I'm the same way.
I think
with
that's
attitude.
everybody in the planet.
No, I think some like Dolly goes with the flow. My sister, she's very easygoing. I think
She
some
just doesn't
people
want to be combative, but if she had it her way, she would probably not choose the way you think.
maybe, yeah, but that's what I mean. That some people are easier going, like in their temperament.
Mad long.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to do a lot of editing, but
Probably not a lot. I think we had pretty good conversation the whole time.
that's true.
Pretty good banter.
And we have to get ready now because you're gonna go on a family date.
We're gonna go on a family date where they do hookah.
But we're gonna try to stay away from the hookers.
The hookers? The hookers? Where are we going?
The hookah.
On point?
Oh, like she's moving. She might.
Alright, listen, guys. I look like grainy as fuck, right?
Oh no, we have to edit it.
Ah. Alright, guys, that was our video. I hope you enjoyed it.
They're gonna hate us.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us what
Oh,
you
it does
want.
look grainy now.
Your kid sucks, by the way. Look. You guys want to see the...
She's up and ready for our date.
That's a little hard.
Bye bye.
Adios.
It's there, no?